Hey, this is Igor. Welcome to the call. Let's see if you got sound. So give me a quick yes in the chat if you can hear me. Let's see. Yep. All right. All right. All right. We've got David, Chris, Heather, Charles, Sean, Grieg. I think it's Grieg, not Greg. Jeremiah, Marcia, Lloyd, Klaus. Perfect. Perfect. Awesome. Awesome. Now let me fire up my screen. Okay. Weird. Wait. Yeah. How about now? Can you see my screen? Yes, indeedy, you can. Of course you can. Look at that. After doing a couple of hundred webinars, I finally got the hang of this darn thing. So let me just close up this panel real quick. Awesome. All right. So how's everybody doing today? Go ahead. I mean, I can see your names, but go ahead and type in where you're from because I can see that. And also, why don't you type in whether or not you are full-time online as of today? Let's see, we've got Colorado, New Jersey, Arizona, Edmonton, fellow Canadians, awesome. Hartford, Michigan, Philly, Kentucky, Las Vegas, South Carolina, LA, another Arizona, New York. All right, cool. All right, so let's see. Not full time, not full time, not yet, not yet. Part time online. From Germany, not full time. Idaho, Louisville, Kentucky, full-time marketing, both online and direct mail. Badass, awesome. Part-time online, not full-time from Alabama. Full-time by the end of the year from Washington, D.C. North Carolina just starting out. All right, fantastic. So looks like we got a full house today. Whoever wasn't able to make it into the room is probably not going to make it at this point because it's going to max out. So if you're in the room, consider yourself lucky because you will get a chance to say yes to quite an incredible opportunity that I've been developing and I've been working on very, very hard. In fact, this is something that's been a bit of a secret project of mine for about a year now that took a lot of development, took lots of costs, took lots of brain power and energy and a big team behind it. And now I think it's going to change lots and lots of lives, maybe even yours, depending on your decision today. Okay, so let's get started. It's April 25th, just after 2 p.m. Toronto time. I've got my espresso shot and MCT oil is running through my veins. Today I'm going to show you how you can unlock the keys to an 8-figure turnkey empire that will produce ready-made profits for you around the clock. This same empire is responsible for making me a multimillionaire and paying for my comfortable and luxurious lifestyle. In fact, just in the past few years, this turnkey empire paid for a 2-week trip to Italy, a week-long stay at the Ritz in Puerto Rico, half a dozen trips to London, and 2 Four Seasons Disney vacations. But that's just scratching the surface. This profit-generating business in a box put my kids into the best private schools Canada has to offer, pays my obscenely expensive mortgage, and got me my dream car. This money-making machine produces profits like a Swiss clock. My goal is to have you become an instant CEO of this whole thing before this webinar is over. Today, you'll be invited onto an express elevator ride to the top. This remarkable system is going to unlock real plug-and-play profits for you without the need of spending years mastering the online marketing skill set. You won't need an artificial intelligence certification or become a proficient digital marketer. You won't need to build landing pages or websites. I'm going to hand a profit-pumping online business on a silver platter. Now, first, let me answer a burning question. Why? Why would I do that for you? Simply put, I'm looking for business partners. I've figured out a way to grow together through the power of collaboration. Thanks to the recent developments, which I will share with you in a bit, we can grow rich together through partnership without worrying about competition. Cool. So let's get going. Look, here's the agenda for this live cast. Okay. And by the way, if anyone is wondering, is this live? This is actually live, right? And the agenda is very simple. First, we will dive into what makes the three components that make my 8-figure online business, right? The things that actually make it tick, the things that make it profitable. Then I'll share with you how you can make up to $3,318 per lead without any personal selling or building funnels yourself. I'll then share with you why I've decided to let a handful of people partner with me to make money together for my online business, and how you can leverage my pages, funnels, webinars, videos, emails, automations, products, and traffic sources so you can make money, right? And why I'm willing to coach you to ensure you succeed with this opportunity as well, why I'm going to be invested in your success. Now, this is really important. I need to make my lawyer happy by having you type in agree in the chat about a couple of things. So first off, type agree in the chat if you understand that I'm a veteran internet marketer. The results I'm about to show you that I'm producing for my business are not a guarantee of income, but I am willing to copy the exact business that's making me this money to a couple of the right people on this call today. Okay, so you understand this, right? I'm not saying that if my business is making 28 grand a day, that it's automatically going to mean you're going to make that. You understand that, right? But I'm giving you the same business. So, all right, lots of agrees in the chat. Thank you very much. Thank you. Agree and get it, says Marsha. Perfect. The second thing, type agree in the chat if you understand that once I show you what's possible, I will open the doors to a limited number of people to partner up with me in this business. And these people will be required to apply and go through an interview process before they're being allowed to get in, right? So on this webinar, I will present you with a chance to book an interview, okay? In other words, you're not gonna walk away here with a business right away. You still have to go through like an actual conversation with a real human person, be it me or a member of my team, regarding you being able to partner with me, okay? Awesome. Book me, baby, says Sean. All right. Next, opportunity to clone my online business and work with me is not free. If you choose to partner up with me, there will be an admission fee required. There's no free lunch here, and the details will be revealed to you if you pass the interview process. You understand that, right? So type in agree if you understand that I'm not here to end the world hunger, okay? That I'm not here to give my entire business away for free, that I've been working, for the last few years to build. Not a free lunch, okay? So if you're showing up here and you're like, well, I'm behind on my bills and I haven't had a job in 3 years, I think you should visit the Social Security office or the wanted section in the paper, but definitely not this webinar. Okay, this is a webinar for people who've got the investor mindset and who want to have themselves a business, not people who are looking for a free lunch. Awesome. Thank you very much. So who is this for? This is for people who failed miserably at building an online business before. This is for people who are inexperienced marketers who want to cut the learning curve and start earning as they learn. This is for people who want to escape the rat race but can't seem to catch a break for some reason. This is for people who are freedom seekers who want to travel more, spend more time with the family, and all while earning more money. This is for people who are non-technical, who are not technical, but who are fascinated with the idea of making money online. So in other words, if you catch yourself kind of getting onto this trend of wanting to make money online, but you feel you're past your prime as far as learning a new industry, then this is definitely for you. And people who want to own a system with multiple streams of income, plain and simple. Like if you're somebody who wants to have one source of income, like a job, probably not for you. But if you're somebody who wants to have a thing, a system, an asset that can produce multiple streams of income, then this is definitely for you. Now, my name is Igor, and I'm an 8-figure internet marketer. But of course, many of you on this call already know that because you've been subscribing to my emails, you've been seeing my videos, you've attended other webinars of mine, and chances are, if you're interested in making money from home, you've seen my name come up in one way or another, unless, of course, you've been living under a rock. And I've built an automated online business that's making me a lot of money. Now, not every day that it makes me, 28 grand or even more than that sometimes, but on average, I would say 4 figures is pretty much what I can expect waking up in the morning if I didn't do anything else. And some days are more, some days like low four figures. Some days are high four figures. Some days are low five figures. But it is very consistent at making me a lot of money, from as little as 3 grand to as much as $28,500 in a single day. Now, this business produces multiple six-figure income streams for me. So in other words, it's not just based on one thing that I do. It's not just based on, actually, no, that's not the right way to say it. The one thing that I do actually ends up making me multiple streams of income. So I get to own and profit multiple streams of income under the umbrella of this business, right? But I have money coming in through different sources, right? So here's one source that made me $151,000 in sales, out of which I got half the money in my pocket, which is $69,912.60 last year. This one, that in the last 12 months since the very beginning that I started using it, made me $206,000. This one made me $442 and $32,000 in a span of about a year. This one made me $233,000 total in a span of, I think, about 2 years. This one made me $190,000 in a year. And this one is producing like as little as a grand to as much as $21,000 in commissions in a single day. And all of these income streams are different. Like, they're not connected to each other. They're all coming in separately in parallel to each other. So one income stream making me $400,000, another one making me 200, another one making me 90, another one making me 60. And so what ends up happening is that they all add up into a big income. Now, it also produces five-figure income streams, like this one that produced $17,500, like this one that produced about $50,000, like this one that produced about $11,500. And of course, it also has multiple four-figure income streams that just produce me money on an ongoing basis that I wouldn't even consider to be big money, like compared to making, a couple $100,000 with a single income stream. Of course, it's, not, nothing crazy, but making me, $100, $50, 200, $300 a day, right? Again, all this comes in parallel. So basically, I've got this business, right? And it just creates multiple streams of income for me. You understand that? Like, that's where the power comes from. Like, somebody told me once that confidence comes from ability to, to have choices, or if you have choices, you've got confidence. Well, confidence in your income, or confidence in your financial well-being, usually comes from multiple streams of income. Like, if you've got multiple streams of income, and one of them like goes down or whatever, you've got other income streams to build on, right? To fall back on. So give me a quick MSI. Type MSI in the chat if you understand this. That, if you want to be comfortable financially, you can never do it with one source of income. You always have to be building multiple streams of income and facilitate your behavior and develop habits and do things on a daily basis that lead you to having multiple streams of income. All right, so give me MSI in the chat for multiple streams of income. All right, Kari's like MSI, 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 right? It reminds me of that scene in Mad Max, the most recent version, where they got around, in the courtyard and be like V8, V8. So we're like MSI, MSI. I love it. Yeah. So when I got into this business, when I got into the online marketing, when I got bitten by this bug, that's the only thing I could think of. Like, I love the idea of having money come in through multiple sources, and once I had that, life became much easier, much easier. There's been much less stress. Overall, things got a lot easier. Now, I'm pretty sure you are, but in case you're not, there's this thing that you probably are familiar with. There's this thing called the Pareto principle. So anyone familiar with the Pareto principle? Give me, type in 80-20 in the chat if you are. Yep. No. Okay. It's a bit divided. So the Pareto principle is the 80-20 rule, which basically states that 80% of your effort produces 20% of your result, and 20% of your effort produces the 80% of your result. So this is true for almost everything in life. 20% of the things you do at work will produce 80% of your income. 20% of your clients will produce 80% of your income. 20% of the roads in your town carry 80% of the traffic, and so on and so forth. Like 20% of the people in the United States pay 80% of the taxes that go into the coffers, right? So 80-20 is everywhere. And so I took the 80-20 and I applied it to my business. And I asked myself, what are the 80-20? What is the 80-20 of my business, right? So the 80-20 of my business actually comes down to three things. These three things make more than 80% of my income, believe it or not. They're responsible for me making as much as $10 million from this online business. And so these things are lead funnels, traffic, and email promotion. So if I had to strip down all activities, literally, if I didn't do anything, nothing but these three things, I would retain 80% of my income in this business. Like if I only put attention to these three things, which is where, to be honest with you, my attention actually goes, these three things. And this is what produces my income. Now, here's why. First off, the lead funnels. Lead funnels are basically very special websites that are built from multiple pages that are designed for one purpose: to take traffic, convert that traffic into leads, and to convert those leads into buyers. Now, everybody gets that, right? So type in 1 in the chat if you understand that a lead funnel is basically a website or a series of websites that are built with one purpose in mind. It's not a blog. It's not a social media page. It's not an authority site. It's nothing like that. It's not a page that tells people who I am. It's basically just a series of web pages that are built to suck in leads from the traffic I send there and turn those leads into buyers, right? So, okay, everybody's getting that. Thank you very much. Sean, Leroy, Shane, Chris, Greg, Lloyd, Doc, David, Heather, Louie, Jennifer, Clarence, Hans, Angel, Isabella, Douglas, and Doug, Jared, Steven, Jason, Michael, Meg. Okay, you guys are getting it. Perfect. Thank you so much. Sean's like, thank God it's not a blog. Oh my God. Yeah, thank God. All right. So now other people, this is not how I do it, but other people, this is the funnels they use. They have like a very basic capture page that captures the email address, and they just kind of send the whoever opt-in to an offer, right? So familiar with that, right, guys? I mean, this is pretty standard stuff. Now, my funnels are a little bit different. This is very typical, but my funnels are not. So you see, other people's lead funnels struggle for a couple of reasons. First, because they attract freebie seekers. That's like probably the biggest issue. And that is, I mean, I don't know if you've built a list before. Type in 8, number 8 in the chat if you tried building a list before. Okay, quite a few people. So if you found yourself, right? If you found yourself building a list and that list ain't producing, chances are you've built a list that, well, a freebie seeker list, right? So that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Now, another reason why other people struggle with their lead funnels is because they promote low converting offers. So they buy this traffic or generate traffic somehow, and they send people to offers don't convert, which is of course very bad. Now, the other reason is because they follow up poorly, and I really mean poorly. A lot of people, believe it or not, and I'm a list builder, so I actually have data to back this up. I consult companies, I consult people, I work with people. And look, one of the most common things is not people, sending like unconverting emails actually, but not sending emails at all. This is crazy. This is just nuts. I don't get it. I see people invest time, energy, and resources into building the list, and they just don't follow up with it. Isn't that crazy? Like, why would somebody do that? They just don't follow up with it. And it's pretty, I mean, it's just shocking to me, but that's the reality. Now, here's what my lead funnels look like. This is an example of one lead funnel, and I have several that I'm using right now in order to generate leads. Now, you can tell immediately the difference, right? It's a lot more robust, right? It's a lot more it's a lot more, it's just a beast of a funnel. I mean, compare this to what other people are using. This just 2 pages. Look at my stuff. It's crazy. It's like a Terminator of a funnel, right? Now, here's why this funnel is different and why it's so effective. So first off, it qualifies the leads in a really big way. So it makes people jump through hoops. It makes people do stuff. It makes people attend the webinar. It makes people like click here and go here and check this and go there. Sometimes it makes people, attend the webinar for a certain time before we even tag them in a certain way. So it's a really advanced, smart funnel full of different steps, automations, and really, really smart segmentation. Now, the other reason why my funnels are different and they're just plain better is because they sell mid to high ticket products. So in other words, when I make a sale, I get paid more money, usually multiples of what other people get paid, right? So Sean's like, Igor, please don't be mad at me. Just clone me and take the lion's share of the profits. Right. So we'll get to that, Sean. Don't worry about it. So the other reason is I sell products that are just higher priced. So I get to keep more money for every sale that I make. And that, goes a long way with advertising. And because my funnels offer multiple purchase opportunities. So my funnels actually have, like, they create purchasing opportunities in many different ways. Most people's funnels, they have one way that they make an offer. They kind of pitch the offer, and usually they pitch the offer way too soon, if I'm honest with you. But my funnels, they not only find the right time to pitch the offer, but they do it from multiple directions. They create multiple opportunities. So it's not just one pitch. In one funnel, I can have like 20 different opportunities for the person to buy, and that's a big deal. And also because they generate a buyer list. This is a big one, because really, if I take all of my email leads that I ever generate, and I generate millions and millions of them, I can take and I can really tell you that 80%, if not 90%, of the revenue generated from that list will come from the buyers, the people who have initially developed a relationship with me by purchasing something from me, right? So these would be the most valuable leads, and I will never treat them the same way that I would treat regular leads, unqualified leads, right? And finally, my funnel is way better is because, my funnels just follow up like crazy. My funnels follow up until you either die or buy, right? Or just get mad with me and hit unsubscribe button. That's it. There's only 3 options. You either kind of buy from me, or you just die, or you hit the unsubscribe button. There's really no other option to stop me from making offers to you if you're on my list, period. And it has to be that way. You know why? Because there's noise. There's so much noise out there that to stand out in the noise, that's what you got to do. Yeah, cyborg. That's the cyborg follow-up. Thank you, Sean. You're quite the wordsmith, right? So that's the funnel part. The second part is the traffic, right? Now we all know what traffic is. Everybody knows what traffic is. Type in 1 in the chat if you understand what the hell traffic is. It's not the traffic that you are stuck in when you go to work. It's traffic as in visitors that you generate to the offers you're promoting, to the websites you're promoting, and basically eyeballs that you generate through the internet. Everybody clear on that? Type 1 in the chat if you understand what it is. Okay, good. Okay, good. So everybody knows what traffic is. Perfect. So here's the deal with traffic. Here's why people struggle with traffic. First off, they're not making enough money to cover the costs. I mean, that's probably the most common reason why people simply can't generate anything. The other reason is because they promote low ticket products that pay low commissions, right? So in other words, if somebody's promoting a $50 product that's paying them $20 a sale, there's only so much they can spend, right? There's only so much that they can spend without seeing a return immediately before they have to shut down the ads. I mean, it's just basic math, okay? The kind of math that my 4th grader daughter can do. But that's the reality. It's simple math. Now, the other reason is because their follow-up process is short and ineffective, which of course, goes back to their lead funnels just in general. If you're not following up with the traffic you're generating, you're missing out on at least 80% of your sales. And because they're not building multiple streams of income, a lot of times when I see people generate traffic, they do it in a way where they're either going to make a sale right away or they don't make a sale at all, and that's pretty much it. But that's not the right way to do it. Now, I do my traffic a little bit differently, and I'm able to generate lots of it with ease. Here's a screenshot of me generating 26,000 clicks in the span of about a month and getting 4,000 conversions out of about almost 1 million impressions. Now, here's how I do it. First off, I promote mid to high ticket stuff. I promote mid to high ticket products that pay a lot of money for each sale. So even if I'm paying a lot for my traffic, guess what? I can afford it because the sales are covering the costs. Then another important thing is I keep 100% of the money. So if you're an affiliate marketer, right? The challenge is you're either getting way too little in commissions, or even if commissions are decent, you're still getting only half the money while you're the one paying 100% of the advertising cost, right? And because my follow-up is long and effective, like my follow-up, like I said, it's pretty relentless. So I don't really care, even if I don't make the sale right away. I know exactly what each email address is worth to me, so I can pay more and not go out of business, right? Isabella says, I buy traffic and I get no sales. I know exactly what that feels like, Isabella. So stay tuned. And because I build multiple streams of income, so I have set up my funnels in a way where even if the first thing that's supposed to be making me money, even if the first thing doesn't sell, I have still many backup ways of how that list or that lead is going to convert into a sale down the road. Sometimes, and I'm probably the only person who ever speak about this out here in like in the public. Sometimes, I mean, it takes like a year to convert someone from a lead to a buyer. But you know what? I don't care, because once that person becomes a buyer, they become the most valuable lead you can possibly imagine. So as far as I'm concerned, not a problem for me. And my follow-up can really stretch that high, that long, because I will keep running promotions, of which I will talk about in a minute. Now, the third part is the email promotions, right? So once you got someone on your list, what do you do with them, right? You got to get them to open those emails, click on those links, and buy the products, right? So I'm not just talking about the automated follow-up that you can set up for people who immediately get on your list and they start immediately getting your emails. I'm talking even just about sporadic promotions you do, weekly promotions, daily promotions, and so on. And so, okay, the promotions, they're tricky for most people. Most people struggle generating income with email promotions. Here's why. Because first off, they don't really build an email list at all. Like a lot of people, they will drive traffic straight to an offer, especially affiliate marketers. They don't really build a list. They don't like the idea of building a list. They don't understand the value of building a list. They think that by putting a capture page in front of the traffic instead of the offer, they will get fewer conversions, which is a big misconception. So they don't have a list to follow up with. Now, because most of those who build an email list do not follow up. I already mentioned that earlier. Most people with a list actually don't email their lists and they let those leads die. So it's one of those things that if you don't use it, you lose it. And that's a big, just a crying shame. They also write low converting emails out of the ones who actually do follow up. Oh, see, Jason says, I'm guilty of that, see? And I'm assuming that's about, not emailing your list when you had the chance. So because they write low converting emails, the few people who do follow up don't seem to generate results. They also promote low converting offers. Like you can be writing a good email, but if the offer you chose to promote doesn't convert, then, or doesn't convert with your audience specifically, then no use, trying. And because the email deliverability is in the toilet, which has been a challenge for many people in recent years, ever since Google made a few changes, GDPR and stuff like that, and because they're inconsistent. Another, another issue is that even if, like, and entrepreneurs do it all the time, by the way, even if we do something that works, we just stop doing it. But a lot of times we do something once, we don't see results, and we stop doing it. So inconsistency is a big issue. Now, why do my email promotions make a lot of money? Well, because I qualify my leads and they're just better than other people's leads, period. Because I just write better emails, because I'm good at it. I've been doing it for a long, long time, right? And because I promote high converting offers, which means even if my email promotion didn't generate lots of traffic, I'm still able to make lots of money because of the high conversions I create. And I'll show you examples of that in a bit. And because I follow up religiously with the people on my list. So even if you don't buy anything from me, in 6 months time, you've already gotten familiar with me, you know what I stand for, and it's only a matter of time, if you haven't unsubscribed, for you to finally say yes and buy something from me, right? So this is what my 8-figure business consists of. It's lead funnels, traffic, and email promotions, right? Now, if I get down into the specifics of everything that goes into running this business and creating this business, then your head's gonna spin, right? Because this is not a full list, but this is just a glimpse into what it takes to build all this. It took me a long time and a lot of effort to do, because in between funnels and traffic and email promotions and product creation, admin, all the backend stuff, customer support. I mean, just look at it. It makes your head hurt, doesn't it? I mean, do you really imagine yourself being able to do this? Like, you know what? Type yes in the chat if you do like see yourself being able to pull all this off, or type in no in the chat if you don't think you will pull this off. Because, if somebody told me that this is what it takes to build my business, before I started, I don't know if I would have followed through. And have you ever been on a webinar, right, where people said, "Oh, it's easy to make money. It's easy to make money. Buy this thing for $1,000." Anyone been to a webinar like that? Just type in yes in the chat if you have. Like, you attend a webinar for 60 minutes. Some guy comes out and says, "Hey, this is the easiest thing since sliced bread. Just give me $1,000 and you'll make money." Something like that, right? Awesome. So a lot of you have had this experience. Now, can you really imagine any one of them coming out and saying something like, well, look at on the screen, see a million different things you have to do? Well, I can show you how to do these things and then you'll make money. How about that? I mean, nobody would have bought their programs and courses and whatever, right? Nobody will tell you the truth, because telling the truth will simply disqualify their entire sales argument. Yeah, and I see lots of yeses in the chat. So I just want to be transparent with you and say that it took me a lot of effort, like a lot of effort, money, figuring out, buying coaching, testing different things, and it's still a work in progress, to be honest with you. It's never like a finished thing. It's never like complete. It's always something you have to do, you have to tweak, you have to like put out a fire here and there. Now, it was totally worth it though. I mean, it's making me good money. I have a great lifestyle. I'm able to do the things I really love to do. I'm able to spend time with my family, to live in a place that I want to live. So, and I still get to make a lot of money. So it's a solid business, right? It took me from living in a dump, um, and driving bad, really shitty cars, and living in the ghetto pretty much, to, being in a nice place and being able to give my family a nice lifestyle, which is great. So I guess my question is, knowing what you know now as to how my business operates in terms of what's like the 80/20 of the business and what it takes to build the business, right? Um, the question then becomes, which would you rather, right? So, and type your answer in the chat for me. Let's see. Would you rather build your own online business, and nothing wrong with that? You can do it. It's just going to take you effort, a lot of it, or copy my 8-figure business. So which one would you rather? Let's see. Right. Wow. Not a single person said I will build my own online business. All right. Cool. So yeah, pretty much everybody is. Yeah. Yeah. So Greg, Isabella, Chris, Megan, Doc, David, Leroy, Imani, Louis, Jorge, Jennifer, Heather, Robert, John, Sean, Beula, Megan, Klaus, Carrie, Philip, Douglas, Andrew, Charles, Jeremiah, and Shane, and Sean, all, and Stephen, all say I would much rather copy Igor's business. All right. So I guess this is exactly what this opportunity is about. It's about whether or not you'd like to copy my $10,016,226.97 online business, because by my modest calculation, just off by the online dashboards that I was able to compile together through all the different accounts I've got, without even going back and counting all the wires and the different things, that's at the very least what this business has made me in the last couple of years. So now, what if you could copy it? Would you like that? And no, Robert, you don't have to give me your right arm and your firstborn. No need for that. All right. All right, cool. So, yes. Yeah. So, type yes in the chat if you would like to copy my $10 million business. Awesome. So, we got someone by the name of Matt on the call. He kind of reminds me, I think, of somebody I used to follow a long time ago. He says, "Hey Igor, Matt here. I have built my own business. The email part is still the most profitable for the least effort." Yes, thank you. It is, truly is. It's pretty incredible just how well email marketing has aged, isn't it? Yeah, so would you like to copy my business? So let's see. Sean, Louis, Philip, Chris, Robert, Hans, Lloyd, Betty, John, Heather, Sean, Shane, Manel, Megan, Jason, another Sean, Charles, Doc, Leroy, Klaus, Jorge, Kari, Ted, Isabella, uh, Marie, Jennifer, awesome, Douglas, Rick, Greg, Beula, Clarence, awesome, fantastic. All right. So not only that though, would you like to copy my funnels, my offers, and my promotions? Yeah, how about that? And would you like to build a big list in the process? Yeah. And want to make big affiliate commissions too. And want to copy my email promotions as well as my traffic sources, right? Can it get any better than that? So basically, what I'm saying is, would you like to copy pretty much everything that makes my 8-figure business? And for me to also coach you on how to promote it by giving you my traffic sources, by giving you the ads, by basically walking you through how I run my email promotions, giving you some promotions you can copy. You can also build your own promotions if you want, right? So give me a quick, I don't know, there's so many yeses in the chat now. Give me a quick number 5 in the chat. Louis says, now you're talking to me, Igor. Yes, I am. All right. Yes, please, my friend to the end, 555. Awesome. Now, Andrew wants to know, why would you do all that? Okay, so this is a great question, Andrew. I was hoping you're going to ask that, or somebody would ask that, and I'll get to that in a bit. Okay, I promise to satisfy your curiosity. All right. So, all right, so many fives. Sean, Manel, Leroy. I mean, I'm getting pretty tired reading your names, but this is so fun. Louis, Sean, Manel, Leroy, Lloyd, Heather, Greg, Doc, Stephen, Robert, Megan, Richard, Jared, Andrew, Clarence, Isabella, Hannes, Annette, Charles, Chris, David, Douglas, John, Klaus, Rick, McDonald, Jennifer, Mary, Beula, Nate, Arthur, Kari, Will, Bones. Oh, Bones, what's up? Douglas, Jorge. Awesome. All right. Man, I think it's the most active chat I've ever seen on a webinar. All right. Well, if so, if you do want me to basically take a copy of my business and copy it over to you, then a couple things you should know, okay? Before requesting a copy of my business, I pretty much have to enforce the following on you. First off, not a free service. Already said that in the beginning of the call, but hey, never a bad idea to mention it again. This is not a free service. It's not a charity. There will be an investment required because it's worth it and because I worked my butt off to build this 8-figure online business. The second thing, I will screen the partners, right? So no matter who you are, no matter if you're an existing customer, not an existing customer, even if you're a guru, I don't care. I will screen whoever wants to partner up with me because my brand, my name, my face is all over this business. And I can't let crazy people go around the internet using it for obvious reasons. It's an easy way to get in trouble, especially on the internet where anyone can do anything to anyone, right? So you will be vetted, and I will give priority to existing clients if a conflict arises, okay? Now, the third thing is you're paying for your traffic. So in other words, when you run the traffic, you're building your own business, your own list, and you're keeping the money from the sales you're making. So you're paying for the traffic, not me. I'm not going to be, basically paying for your traffic. Makes sense, guys? So type in makes sense in the chat if you understand and agree with these three terms. It's really important. I really don't want any, bad expectations later, right? So I'm setting those expectations right away up front. I want to be super transparent because there's really no reason for any shenanigans here. So type in makes sense if you understand these terms and you agree and you basically proceed beyond this point, understanding and knowing this stuff, right? Makes sense. All right. All right. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right. And number 4, which I forgot, is I'll coach you, but you have to show up. So in other words, not gonna chase you, not gonna change your diaper, not looking to babysit anyone. You're not 3, right? I already have a 3-year-old and a 9-year-old at home, so got my hands full with that. I'm not gonna babysit you, but I will coach you. Got it? Right? Cool. So if you don't agree to any of these terms, you're welcome to leave now because the terms will not change. It's my business. It's opportunity that I've created and I get to dictate the rules. You have a problem with that? This is not for you. Now, the next step would be is for you to book your interview. As I mentioned, you have to be screened. You have to talk to a real human person for an interview. Okay. And do you have to? Can't I just give you a link to buy something? Yes, you have to. I can't just give you a link to buy something. I'm sorry. This is one of those things that you really have to have a conversation. I have to ask you who you are, what your expectations are, what your experience is. I want to see who I'm working with because believe it or not, the internet is full of crazy people and they do make their way through my doorstep, unfortunately, every now and again, right? Now, I will answer all the questions. So if you have any questions about this opportunity, please post them in the chat as they come in. And I have Lana in the chat assisting me today. So she's collecting the questions and she will feed them to me and I will answer all the questions to you, okay? Right? So, all right, cool. So you do have to talk to a real human person because we don't know you and we have to know who you are. Now, I'm a stay-at-home dad. I devote a lot of time to my kids. My daughter, she's going through like tons of different activities, which I facilitate, like learning how to code, singing, performing on stage. She actually just passed qualification to a singing contest, like where she's gonna go with her group to Washington D.C. So that's gonna take time. We're actually gonna make our way to D.C. our entire family to support her. So and then we've got the 3-year-old who's just now starting to get active. So he's starting to do some judo. I'm gonna enroll him into some football training. So it's gonna be crazy, and my schedule simply won't allow me to invest too much time into doing interviews because between my kids, me being a devoted husband, and really facilitating the circumstance for a romantic relationship so the marriage keeps flourishing. I mean, I give it all to my family, so it leaves very little time to conduct interviews, okay? And this is why I really have to scare away tire kickers as much as I can. In other words, I really have not so much patience for tire kickers, but rather the time, because if I speak to a tire kicker who has no intention of moving forward, and that means it's an hour or 30 minutes or 40 minutes that I couldn't spend with somebody who was serious and really needed that conversation, right? So I am going to scare the tie kickers away right now by having you submit a refundable $100 deposit to conduct the interview. Okay, again, I repeat, the refundable $100 deposit to conduct the interview, so I know you're not a tire kicker. Okay, now how does that work? You submit the $100 deposit. We have our 45 or so minute interview. I find out who you are. Then I tell you about the program, and then you make a decision whether or not you want to become a part of this program and partner up with me. If you do want to partner up with me, we hug it out, we get you started. If you don't, we just part ways, united in mutual respect, and you get your $100 deposit back. Now, if you and me partner up, then what's going to happen is we're simply going to apply this deposit if you want to the enrollment fee into the program, and if not, you can still have it back and you'll just submit, the enrollment fee. Okay, now if for any reason it's not a good fit, whether for you or for us, then I'll just give you a gift. It's a special case study I created where I explain how I made $98,000 in commissions in just 7 days by running a promotion to my email list, which I think is very educational, seeing exactly what occurred, how did I build a landing page, what emails did I send out, and what offer I promoted. All right, so it's really straightforward. Okay, there's no commitment and no pressure. By submitting this deposit, you don't have to partner up with me. Okay, in other words, if you submit this deposit, it doesn't mean you're now committed to partnering up with me. No, it is only for us to conduct the interview, because during the interview, either you or me, either one of us can decide it's not a fit and cancel the whole deal. You get your refundable deposit back. Does that make sense to you guys? Do you, all of you, understand that? Please type in understand in the chat if you understand this, because it could be tricky for some people to get it. If you submit the deposit and for any reason it's not a good fit, you get your deposit back. If you submit the deposit and we have this interview and it's a good fit for both of us, then this deposit simply gets applied to your enrollment fee into the program to partner up with me and copy my business. Very simple. Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Perfect. So do we have a deal? Type deal in the chat if you and me are on the same page about this. Again, risk-free, refundable deposit, book an interview, have the interview. If it is a good fit, join the program. If it's not a good fit, don't join the program, get deposit back. Very simple, very straightforward process. I'm trying to be as transparent as I possibly can here, just so we're all on the same page. Do we have a deal? Right? Louis says, deal if I can get a lifestyle mug. You know what, Lana, please make a note. Let's send Louis a lifestyle mug. Okay. Okay. The other Doug says deal, says Doug. Okay, cool. So I want to see more deal in the chat. Come on, what is this? I've seen like a million people saying copy, 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 and only half of you said deal. Come on. If you haven't typed the word deal in the chat, you type the word deal. Badass. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Awesome. So here's the link where you go to submit the $100 refundable deposit. Okay. It is at igor.top/partner. And the link will now be posted in the chat. Okay. The link will now be posted in the chat for you. It is igor.top/partner. So you can either click on it in the chat, or you can open a new link in your browser, a new tab in your browser. So whether it's Firefox or Google Chrome or Edge, whatever it is, or even on your phone, to be honest, you can also do it on your phone. So you can grab your phone, fire up the web browser and type in igor.top/partner, and it will take you to the page that looks like this page. That's basically a form for you to submit your name, your email, your phone number, and your credit card details and your address. It's very important. We also need your address here because it will be verified against your bank. So, basically they verify you intended to submit the payment. So it will charge you a $100 deposit, and it says refundable deposit at the top of the page, so you can see it there. Okay, so go to igor.top/partner right now, and it will basically take you to the form. Now, once you've submitted the $100 refundable deposit, you will be then taken to a page that looks a bit like this. It'll have a calendar on the page where you can pencil yourself in to either my schedule, or if my schedule is full, you will be able to pencil yourself into the schedule of my customer success concierge or customer success manager, if you will. a student of mine that became very successful and is now helping me out full time. Okay, you'll be able to pencil yourself into his schedule so you can chat with him and conduct the interview with him. Okay, so very, very important. You go there right now. So igor.top/partner. Got it? So open a new tab or open it up on your phone. Go to, just type in igor.top/partner. Should take you to a page that looks like this. And then once you've paid, it will redirect you to a page with this calendar. So all you have to do is just pencil yourself into the schedule. Very simple. You just follow the instructions and it will tell you exactly what to do. It's super straightforward. I'm sure you've done it a million times before. Now the call is going to take place on Zoom. Okay, so you will be emailed a Zoom link as soon as you book the call. All right, and so if you don't have Zoom on your computer, once you click on that link before the call, you will install Zoom automatically. If you already have Zoom on your computer, which most likely you do because everybody uses Zoom, then you already have the ability to conduct the interview. Okay, now very important, I want to remind you that the purpose of this talk is to basically get a yes or a no from both of us. Okay, yes or no. This call is really about that, to figure out, is it a good fit or is it not a good fit? I don't want to get stuck in the middle. It's not about collecting information to think about it or whatever. It's all about, is it a good thing for me or is it not a good thing for me? Is it a good thing for Igor? Is it not a good thing for Igor? Is it a good thing for you as my partner or not? Only you can make that decision once you know more about how this would work. Okay, now what I can promise you is that this is not going to be a Wolf of Wall Street style high pressure sales call where me and the guys would be trying to, you know, hook you onto something. It's really not that. It'll be an interview. Okay, in fact, if at any point you feel like you're being sold to, if you feel like you're being pressured, if you feel like you're being somehow being held hostage or whatever, I invite you to literally just hang up, don't even explain yourself, and ask your deposit back. That's it. I mean, you really don't have to even explain yourself. This is going to be the furthest from a high pressure sales call as you can possibly imagine. But this could be a life-changing call, right? Because I'm known for like teaching people how to make money with list building, affiliate marketing, and you know, here's one of my students, David Deacle, who actually is now making roughly about $100,000 per month. Per month. This is a guy who used to sell smartphone cases for Rogers, a conglomerate, like a media conglomerate here in Canada, and you know, he basically is now making a ton of money, as well as a bunch of other people I've helped and worked with in one capacity or another, as you can see on the screen in that leaderboard you're seeing. Okay, so this call can be life-changing because 90 days after having a phone call with me, and remember, I've taught him how to do this. I didn't give him a business, I actually taught him how to build his own business. Just 90 days after having the call with me, he earned $16.8 thousand for himself. Now, of course, this would have been probably much faster if you know, he got a business that was ready to go. But again, this guy, David, he built his business based on what I taught him. So again, I'm basically going to be handing you over a business I've built that operates on the same exact principles. And you know, my business is a bit bigger than his. Okay, so but the problem is that few people are like him. Few people are like David. Like few people are willing to do the work. Like David was so hardworking that when he was putting his business together in Toronto, there was a blizzard that took out power for 4 days. You know what he did? He actually went in and checked into a hotel where there was power so he could continue to work on his business. So he was dedicated. He pretty much zoned out everything else besides this. Now, not everybody's like that. Not everybody can do it for one reason or another. And it just takes a lot of work to build a business. So what I'm offering here is a shortcut, right? A shortcut that allows you to cut through the maze that so many people get stuck in. And remember, guys, if you have any questions about this opportunity, post them in the chat right now, okay? And I will answer them. Lana will collect them in the chat and she will feed them to me one by one. So if you have any questions, please post them in the chat and we'll handle them. So I'm already seeing applications coming in. Let's see. Let me read out a couple of names. So Arthur, Chris, Bernd, Megan, Sean, Kari, Eric, Steven, right? So applications are coming in awesome. Now, this is important for you guys to know because, like I said, there will not be an opportunity for everybody to join. I'll explain it to you in a minute. It has to do with saturation and a few other things, but there will be a strict limit to how many people that I will lend to this program. So even if you've submitted an application, I don't guarantee you will get in. So if you want to just maximize your chances, please get on my calendar as soon as you possibly can. So, you know, some people love to wait until the end of the webinar sometimes, you know, to do something. Like, don't. I'm telling you now, don't. Take this opportunity right now to go to igor.top/partner from your phone, from your computer, from your tablet, doesn't matter. Okay, go there right now and submit the refundable deposit and then pencil yourself in to the call with me. Now, once you've penciled yourself into the call, you will be redirected to an application page where you can give me more details about who you are, okay? So that you can do a bit later, but to pencil yourself into my schedule, please do it right away. Okay, so again, you can do it at igor.top/partner. It's very important. So let's go ahead and cover some questions. Okay, so before I do cover some questions, real quick in the chat, so far, guys, have I delivered on what I stated this is going to be about? I told you coming in, this is going to be about how you can copy my 8-figure business, right? So did I deliver so far and everything I promised? Did I explain to you what principles this business operates from and how you can become a part of this? Yes, 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 yes. Awesome. All right, perfect. Awesome. All right, cool. Thank you very much for your feedback. Now, let's go ahead and cover some questions. Let me see, where are those questions? Lana's been feeding some my way. All right, question from Doug. Does this offer include email follow-up? Yes, sir, it does. You will be able to use my follow-ups that I created, that I've been testing. And I not only test my follow-ups as far as conversions, I also test them for the clicks. I also test them for deliverability, avoiding spam words and things like that. So it definitely does include an email follow-up for sure. Awesome. Now, another question. Will you show us where to get the best traffic? Yes, matter of fact, I'll show you 2 big traffic sources that I'm using right now. I'll show you the traffic sources that will pretty much, I mean, you won't need any other traffic source, to be honest with you, because even I can't maximize this sort of volume. So you'll be able to either get started with spending as little as $5 or $10 a day on traffic, or if you want to go bigger, you will be able to do a bit bigger. But yeah, I definitely will show you. I definitely will show you what to do there. Okay. Awesome. Now let's see what else. Another traffic question. So I just answered that. Sean asks, do you take MasterCard? Yes, we do take MasterCard for the deposit. All right. If I'm already a part of the List Building Lifestyle program, will activity be blended in to this partner program? So one will be complementary to the other. Okay. It definitely will be complementary to the other. So if you're a member of my List Building Lifestyle program, what basically happens is everything I teach in the List Building Lifestyle program, you will just be able to ride on me, right? Basically piggybacking off of my work to benefit from the same stuff that I teach inside that program. So it's basically a shortcut. Okay. Now, Shane asks if this is one-time payment or a monthly payment. Shane, if you're asking about the deposit, the refundable deposit, it's a one-time payment of $100. And this is a deposit that if we don't end up working together is you get it back. And if we do end up working together, you basically apply this deposit to the enrollment fee into this program. Okay. Alan says, bottom line, what's the investment? Then I can establish the fit. Well, here's the thing, Alan. Before I answer this question, here's my experience. My experience is people who ask this question usually ask it for two reasons. One reason is they're really broke. And I don't say it in like a judgmental, mean way. I don't mean to be a douchebag or anything. But they ask this question because coming in, they know they can't afford it. And they've kind of already decided that they can't afford it because they're used to not being able to afford stuff. Now, another reason why people ask that question is because they're now looking for a reason to not apply. In other words, somebody who wants to copy my 8-figure business, they don't ask themselves if and whatever, and if this is so, if this is so. They just say, I really want this, and I'll just figure out how to make it happen. In fact, this is how I tend to go for the things I truly want. Like I really love playing soccer. And so trying to arrange people, like trying to arrange about 15 people for a game is really difficult. You always get these, flaky guys who are like, well, I'm not sure if I can make it. What if this, what if that, and will this happen this, and can I do this? At the end of the day, people who want to come and play football or soccer, they'll come in and they'll play. They'll make it happen. They won't bother you with telling you that their wife is angry at them because they were supposed to babysit the kids that time. They'll rearrange their plans and they will make it happen. That's what I do. I rearrange my plans and I make it happen if I possibly can. And if I can't, I just say, no, I just can't. So usually people who ask me about the investment, they almost do it to have an excuse right away. And my answer to these people is really, is it truly about the investment? Because you've just seen how much money this business is making me. You've also seen what other people make with their lists. So it's not a question of whether it works. You know it works. You wouldn't be on this webinar if you didn't know it works. So usually it really comes down to whether or not you're in before you even know what the investment is. Like I was hooked on the idea of making multiple streams of income way before I knew or even cared about what it's going to take for me to build a business. I mean, just look at this. Like, does it really matter what the investment is if a business is constantly producing 4 figures a day? Would it really matter? I mean, let's say the investment, and I'm just kind of giving you a number that's not true, right? I'm just giving you an example, exaggerating it on purpose. Let's say the investment for this is $100,000, which it isn't, but for the sake of the example, if the investment for a business that's making $6,000 or $8,000 per day, right, from multiple streams of income, is 100 grand, do you think it's a fair price? Yes, it is, because you make that money back very quickly and then you start producing profits. So if you have the investor mindset, even $100,000 price tag wouldn't scare you off. Again, it's not $100,000. I'm just giving you an example. So usually when people do ask me about the investment, that's really like what they're getting at. They're like, give me an excuse not to apply, right? Give me an excuse right now so I don't have to waste my time. Otherwise, I'll be wondering all the time. Now, to those of you who are truly concerned about the investment, like people who say, I really want this, but I am concerned. Like, I don't have a lot of money. I might not be able to afford it, whatever. Now, for those people, I can say that we do have the option of financing. So if you're a good fit, if it's good on both sides, is both you and me say, right, that sounds good, then we can discuss financing. We have low interest and even no interest financing options. You would need about a credit score of about 580 to qualify for that. So and then you can pay off the whole thing in small monthly payments. We probably even score some extra financing for the traffic for you to run, and it shouldn't be a problem, right? Because today, in this post-COVID world, financial help, financial aid is really easy to come by, right? So here's what I can also tell you about investments in general. Usually, anyone who's truly committed and who is truly a good fit, and over the years I've had lots of different students and from lots of different backgrounds. Anyone um, who's truly committed, usually we find a way to make it work. I mean, period. So yeah, I mean, if you ask me, usually we truly make an effort um, to make it work. Okay, so let me see other questions. Let's see. I covered this one. I covered this one. Okay. Right. So that was Philip. Right. So Isabel asked pretty much the same question. She said, how much is the investment? I don't want to book until I know this. Don't want to waste your time. Isabel, exactly the same answer. If you feel you will waste my time, don't book the call. I really only want to work with people who are like decisive. Really. I mean, if you're a decisive person, you don't even think in those terms. You don't think, oh, I'm going to waste someone's time. No, you think, I'm a go-getter. I'm going to do what's necessary to make this happen. That's it. And even if I don't have all the money right now, I will find a way to make it happen. I need to talk to Igor. I need Igor to hear my case. I mean, like I said, if somebody's truly committed, they find a way to make it work, right? Now, another question I see from Charles. He says, I recently just signed up for your Mads Academy a few weeks ago. Okay, cool. Well, this will complement it, trust me. Plus, if you only recently, like a week ago, signed up for Mads Academy, then what we'll do, if it's a good fit, we will also apply your Mads Academy investment towards the fee for the program, because they go hand in hand. Okay, so if you invest in Mads Academy, we can actually take that and also apply it towards the investment if it's a good fit. Okay, all right. Another question from Doug. What would I have to do to be successful if I get this incredible offer? Email follow-up, does this go well with the Done For You program? Right, so what you'll need to do is you need to drive traffic and send out promotions to the list after the initial follow-up is over. So basically your primary tasks would be email marketing and driving traffic, right? Hope that answers your question. All right, another question. Will this work for newbies? Yeah, I mean, this has been created with the newbies in mind, right? Just, I mean, think about it. If somebody is really experienced and is able to build all this stuff on their own, right? Then why would they need me to build it for them? So this opportunity is created for beginners or for people who are experienced, but they've been struggling for so long. They're just saying, to hell with it. Let me just get a shortcut of some kind, right? All right. So we have a few more questions, and I'll let more questions accumulate. So if you have anything else, then go ahead and post it in the chat, and Lana will pick it up. And in the meantime, I'll proceed with a few things that I want to share with you in addition to what I shared with you so far, right? All right. So when you're using my business and using my funnels, driving traffic becomes actually much easier because you collect the lead, you are able to convert the leads into buyers, and you're also selling products that are higher priced. So you're actually able to make more money and recoup the money. So this way you can start using automated traffic sources, right? And drive traffic automatically. And at that point, scaling the traffic becomes very easy. automating the traffic becomes very easy, so it's not a time-consuming thing. So all in all, if you've got automated funnels and you've got an automated traffic, guess what's going to be automated? Your income. Your income will be automated. Make sense? That type makes sense in the chat if you understand this. The way to automate your income is to have the visitors coming in automatically, and for your funnels to be converting them automatically as well, right? Everybody clear on this? Come on, more makes sense. It's not a hard concept to grasp. If you work really hard to produce sales by driving the traffic, you're not automating anything, right? If you work really hard to close the sales, you're not automating anything. So unless both of these things are automated, you cannot make passive income. Passive income comes when both of these are automated, right? Awesome. Next, I also want to remind you that the purpose of this is to help you build a list and to help you build a big list. So you can be adding thousands of people to your email list every single day, right? Not just, trickles here and there. It's all about helping you build a big responsive email list, because a list is a money-making asset. It's a tree. It's a money tree that you can shake anytime you need money. You literally email your way to profits. Like whenever you need anything, there's this famous joke or anecdote about John Lennon and Paul McCartney. When I'm gonna write a swimming pool, right? I think I want a swimming pool. All right, let's write a new song, and there you go. So I mean, that's truly been the experience for me. Whenever I need more money, I mail for it. And it's not to say that like I'll just send an email and people magically start sending me money. No, nothing like that. They exchange money for value, for real value, and for products. But I mean, the activity is to promote to the list. So the list you're building is as far as I'm concerned, is a money tree. I mean, I really think of a list more like real estate, but better, because with real estate, you can create passive income and it can also increase and grow equity. But there's lots of problems, like tenants, for example, they don't pay up and you have to evict them, which happened to me a couple of times. There's investment capital requirement, right? Because to buy a piece of real estate, you need, like, depending on where you live, several $100,000 to over $1 million. Like I live in Toronto, and real estate prices here are really, really just skyrocketing right now, and it's one of the biggest, considered to be one of the biggest real estate bubbles in the world. So when I bought my house last year, I had to pay $1.6 million Canadian dollars, but that's like $1.3 million that I paid for my house. Now, even I don't have that sort of cash laying around, and even if I did, I wouldn't just put it all into my house, right? So I had to get mortgages and apply and credit and things like that. So I mean, it's a big problem. It's a problem. Like in real estate, you can only really make money if you have money. Let's be honest. There's also real estate crashes and things can go down, but the other problem is, to cash out, you really need to sell the list. I'm sorry, to cash out, you really need to sell your property. Now, with a list, you don't really need to sell your list. In other words, like this is an asset that produces all the time. I've now got people who've been on my list for like 10 years who continue to buy from me. So these are assets. These are real people who are continuing to produce income for me. And these people are worth literally tens of thousands of dollars over the course of the last 10 years. And to be honest with you, I didn't even talk to many of them. Like I've never really connected with them in person, on the phone or otherwise. Like these people, they just exist. And but at the same time, I'm not like chasing them or whatever. And many I don't even know by name. So with a list, I can create passive income. I can also increase my passive income over time because my list grows over time. There's a minimum time investment required to manage it, and investment capital that's required to build it is nothing compared to what's required to make money in real estate. That's for sure. I also don't need any tenants, and I literally cash out from my list daily by mailing it. right? I mean, just mail the list and that's how you cash out. And email to this day and will continue to be the hands down most profitable online marketing strategy, period. Nothing beats email. I don't care if there's going to be the next TikTok coming out tomorrow. Nothing beats email. Nothing. Email rules the universe, the marketing universe. Nothing beats email. It's producing the highest ROI on everything. Like you've heard, there's I read out a comment by Matt who was on this call, who's like a guy is a guru, right? I used to follow Matt. His last name is Garrett. I used to follow him a long time ago. He's actually one of the first few people who facilitated communities for email swaps, which I used to do a lot. So I mean, the guy's still making all this money from email marketing, and he's now been doing this marketing thing longer than I had. And I've now been doing this thing for like close to 15 years. So email is stronger than ever. It's producing more money than ever. And it's pretty incredible what you can do with a list as little of 5 to 10,000 people as far as your income, right? Now, will I teach you? Will I show you how to make money with your list? Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I'll walk you through every single thing that I do, right? Every single thing that I do to make money from my list. Oh, Matt's still on the webinar. Incredible. So he says 22 years. Matt's been making money with email a good part of 22 years. Now, you know what's interesting, because there's this thing called the Linda effect, which basically states the longer something has been around and working, the better the chances that it will stay around and work. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right. Now, another reason why a list is so powerful is really because a list is giving you leverage, and a lot of people don't really get that until they see this math. So let's say you're adding 100 subscribers a day to your list, and it takes you about 10 minutes a day to mail your list and to get a conversion of about 5% to sales, right? So let's say you're selling something for 50 bucks. So you make 5 sales on the first day at 50 bucks each. That's 250 bucks. All right. So then the next day you add another 100 subscribers. So now you have 200. Same exact time that it takes you to email the whole list, 10 minutes, because we're using an automated software, right? You get the same 5% conversion. Now you're making 10 sales at 50 a pop, and it's 500. Now you repeat this exercise for 30 days. And what ends up happening is on day 30, you've got 3,000 subscribers. It takes you the exact same 10 minutes to email them. And if you get the same conversion of 5%, guess what? It's 7,500 from a single email. Now, let's say you don't have 5% conversion. Let's say you get half that. Let's say you get, I don't know, 2% conversion. 2% on 3,000 people is what? I want to say 60, right? 60 sales at $50 each. That's still pretty good money. That's still, I think, over 3 grand. So leverage. An email list gives you leverage. You understand? This is why the list is so powerful, and oftentimes to me, getting the lead through my funnel is more valuable, or at least more interesting, more important than to worry about the initial sale, that whether it takes place or doesn't take place, because I know that the leverage I get from it is just incredibly powerful. Even if somebody doesn't buy from me, when they go through my products, guess what's going to happen? They're going to buy something that I promote. I just wrapped up a promotion for a program where I've generated some pretty badass conversions, and I checked who bought, right? So about 30% of the people who bought weren't even my customers. They were just leads on the list. So this means these people went through my stuff, did not buy from me, and yet they still ended up buying something else that brought me a commission of about 225 bucks per sale. Not bad, not bad. And sometimes I really forget about how good we have it here, because I've got a friend who has a restaurant. He is literally looking at whether they're making money like today, right? We have a different situation occurring here. We have assets. We plant seeds. We're like farmers, right? We plant seeds by getting the leads on the list, and then we wait for the seeds to grow. Some will grow, some won't grow. There might be a storm that will take some of these seeds out of the equation, sure, but on average, we will produce something for every seed that we planted. And in this case, although numbers vary for different people, you can expect 50 cents per lead, $1 per lead. I personally, again, I can't promise you'll make that, but I personally, with everything that I do, I get well over $20 per every lead that goes onto my list. Now, I was on a mastermind call today with a friend of mine, Robbie, who stated that he is getting his lifetime customer value, I'm sorry, the lifetime lead value is 60 something dollars per lead. So every time anyone signs up on his list, he's averaging about 60 something dollars over the course of the following 3 years from those leads. So notice the thinking too. It's not just, oh, did I make money today sort of thinking. It's an investment mindset and a long-term mindset. The guy knows that over the course of the next 3 years, he'll average out over $60 per lead. So is it any wonder that he's able to spend over $500,000, $500,000 per month on advertising? Nope, not a wonder. Not a wonder at all. Not a wonder at all. Look, I'm not only going to help you by copying my business to you, but I'm also going to coach you on how to use it. Okay, so generating traffic and also running promotions to your list, and also weekly coaching calls where you can come in and ask questions for a full year. And the reason that I'm sharing this with you is because I want you to know that my mentoring is actually worth a lot of money. Here's people paying me $3,000 an hour for my mentoring. Here's somebody wiring me over 6 grand. Here's another 6 grand, another 20 grand for a package of, I believe it was 8 hours. Then I gave him a discount. Another one wired me 14K for consulting. And this coaching works. I mean, I've helped a lot of people. It's no secret. Again, if you've been following me for some time, you've seen me talk about this before. This guy, Justin, he used to work for AT&T as a sales guy. His mom passed away to cancer, and his home was about to be foreclosed. So the bank was about to take it. So in the first year of mentoring with me, which of course, just like many other people, he coming in said, hey, I can't afford mentoring. I'm broke. I'm barely scraping by, and we made it work. We made it work. He was able to not only quit his day job, not only to save the house from foreclosure, but he was able to travel 12 countries in 12 months, eventually settling in Turkey, where he met his future wife. I believe they're still married. This guy, Nelio, right? I taught him how to create his own products and launch them. So he actually made 1,000 sales in just 72 hours of launching the products. That was pretty insane. The guy's from South Africa, so his English is not his native language, but still, I mean, pretty good if you ask me. This guy, Paul from the UK, he's a teacher. So he was able to build a $10,000 per month online business out of a bedroom while still teaching full time, right? While still teaching full time. I think that's pretty badass, especially considering the guy's a teacher and not an internet marketer, right? So that was pretty cool. So what exactly will you need to do? Two things: driving traffic and sending affiliate promotions to the list. That's it. Driving traffic and sending promotions. Driving traffic and sending promotions. You basically feed your funnel with clicks so you can generate leads. You put the leads on the list and you mail promotions to the list. I will show you how to drive traffic. I will give you my traffic sources to use. I will show you how I run winning email campaigns and even give you stuff to copy so you can copy my winning campaigns and even the offers that I promote, okay? And here's why there's an incentive for me to help you. So basically, if I allow you to clone my business, right? If I allow you to copy my business, so you're going to be using my 8-figure business, 10-figure business, come on. 8-figure business. I mean, I'm just a one-person show with a small team behind me. Come on. So if you get my 8-figure business, my incentive is very simple. Remember, this is my business. It has me all over it, right? So in the same way that it doesn't require you to become a quote unquote a marketer, right? You'll be able to piggyback off of my reputation, my presence in the industry, my credibility, my knowledge, my techniques and tests and technology. I actually had to rebuild everything from scratch using my own technology, which cost me a lot of money. It's multiple six-figure investment just there. But basically, the reason my incentive is to help you is because I handle all the back end. So what happens is you get to use my business, and on the front end, you keep the money. So in other words, when you sell $1,000 product or you refer someone to buy it, you get all the money. I don't take commissions from you, right? You get to keep all the money. So you sell a $1,000 product, you keep the $1,000 after processing commissions. I'm sorry, after processing fees, which will be in the range between, I think, somewhere in the range of between 3 and 9%, depending on the card and depending on where the person is from, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't get to keep any of the money. But what happens is you are generating a customer that will become a part of my ecosystem because they're buying a product that I own, create, and facilitate. I provide the customer support. You don't have to be involved in anything as far as fulfillment, but it's still my customer that comes in to use my services, and therefore, because you're promoting me, right, my brand, if you will, you do get to keep the money, but it's still, you're doing me a favor in a way, right? So it's a bit of a selfish thing here, by promoting my brand. Now, I think when I've come up with this idea, I think it's a brilliant way to both help you make money, but at the same time not put chains on you and force you to build your own business or to provide the customer support or create and facilitate the back end and the admin work, which requires actually a team to run, and force you to pay up for development and stuff like that. I do all of that, and the selfish motive is very simple. Not only I get to build up more case studies for my brand, but also I'm able to continue and grow our community, because essentially what's going to be happening is going to be you're going to be bringing people into our community, right? So you're going to be the product of the product, so to speak, right? And I think that's pretty powerful. Now, why not just do it yourself? You can let me be absolutely clear, right? You can do this yourself. You absolutely can do this yourself. If you wanted, you could literally just double down right now, maybe have to put some of the stuff you've got going on hold and do it, and just study this and how it's done, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and eventually at some point in the future come up and build this. But at what cost, right? In other words, what sort of journey are you going to have to go through? How much will you have to suffer? How much money will you have to pay? By the way, I assure you, whatever the investment is to partner up with me, it's going to be a fraction of what it will cost you to build a business like that. A fraction. I guarantee you that. So it's really not a question, can you or can you not do it yourself? It's more of a question, how much are you willing to suffer to achieve the outcome? Whether you want to take a shortcut that will cost money, but will save you a lot of time, blood, sweat, and tears, and will guarantee an outcome actually happening, versus trying to do it on your own and kind of taking that chance. And again, I'm not saying that everybody should go into this. Not that I'm looking for everyone to become a partner with me. No, I'm only looking for a handful of people anyway. But some people, they just prefer to do it themselves. Like they prefer to tinker with things and to sort of like play the mechanic. Now, I had to go through that journey just for the lack of any other option. But to be honest with you, if I had the opportunity to piggyback off of a working business starting out 15 years ago, I probably would have done it, because the journey, the lessons, the pain I went through, the costly mistakes. I mean, there's so many things that I wish I didn't have to go through, but I had to, but I did, because that was the path that I was on. And if I could, I would have taken a shortcut. I would, honestly, because there's no There's nothing noble about suffering. There's nothing like, you don't get extra points for suffering. You don't get extra points for taking the hard way. You really don't. Whoever told you that, I think they have an old model of the world. These days, it's not about suffering. It's not about hard work. It's about working smart. It's about using technology. It's about leveraging stuff, right? You've seen people become rich with crypto, didn't you? Like kids who have, I mean, they've done nothing for the world. They've offered zero value. They don't have any skills, but they've leveraged an asset. They were at the right place at the right time, and they weren't afraid to take action. And bam, they become millionaires. But this is not one of those things. This is not crypto. It's not a fad of any kind. This is proven to work. Email marketing, list building is proven to work. Okay? It just is. And it makes all the difference. An email list makes all the difference for people who aren't making money yet, right? Like, look, this is the promo I ran. $40,000 in commissions, average of $50 per click. $40,000 in commissions, $77,000 in sales, right? So let's see how many clicks I send here. So if I divide 77,237 by 5048, it means that I only sent 1,500 clicks to this offer. Okay, I've only sent 1,500 clicks. That's not a lot of traffic, guys. 1,500 clicks is not a lot of traffic. I mean, the internet is huge. Billions and billions of clicks flow through it every second. And I only sent 1,500 clicks from my list. And man, 40 grand in my pocket, just like that. And you know, like I said, I keep going back to this. You can do this on your own. You can, because there's information out there. There is. Look, just about the sales funnel, about 56 million results. How to build a sales funnel, right? But are you going to sort through all these results? I don't think so. There's software out there, right? There's definitely software out there. There's like, who here owns a bunch of software? Type in the name of the software you've purchased or you own at this time that you were supposed to be using to build your online business. Come on. There's a million different pieces of software, I'm sure, that you can purchase right now, and every one of them is greater than the rest, and I mean, supposed to change your life and change your business. Like, come on. I mean, what is it? Is it get response? Is it lead pages? Is it ClickFunnels? Is it Infusionsoft? What is it? Come on, give me a quick list of stuff you had to buy, thinking that the moment you've got this magic piece of software, it's going to set you free. Come on. There's at least a million different things. I mean, I own like 5 different tracking software. I've already stopped counting how many different funnel builders I've got. Convertory, ClickFunnels, Click.org, Constant Contact, Aweber, Thrive Themes, WordPress plugins, right? I mean, the list goes on and on. There's a million different things, a million different things. And what? Did that make you rich? No. Did all this information make you rich? No. Why is that? Because information alone isn't enough to actually produce results. Information alone is simply not enough. Just, it doesn't work like that, guys. Libraries are full of information. Schools are full of information. Internet is full of information. And yet, it's not enough to make everybody successful. Only a handful become successful. Not to mention it all costs money, although there's a lot of stuff you can get for free these days too. Information alone is not enough. Application is far more important. Far more important. So what I'm offering you here is basically an opportunity to copy something that already works, right? Think about it like a franchise, although it's not really a franchise, but in concept, it's similar to getting a ready-made business that's already working. Only, we're not talking about crazy bureaucracy, scrutiny, $500,000 buy-in fees, having to pay royalties or nothing like that, right? It's really not like that. But in concept, the shortcut it provides is similar. Now, what's interesting is an average franchisee, and when I found out about this, I was shocked, by the way. I don't know if you knew this, but an average franchisee, and that's the average, so probably some people make even less than that, makes $60,000 a year. $60,000 a year is what an average franchisee makes. Okay. Okay. Now get this. I make 4 times that, almost 4 times that in a month. Come on. I mean, wow. Franchises. All right. Pay $500,000 to make 60K a year. What? No, thank you. Plus, unlike an average franchisee, I actually have a life because I'm not tied to my location. Like I actually had a student from Quebec. His name is Louis. And Louis owned a Fresno's franchise, like a sandwich shop franchise. And it was a hamster wheel. Like he thought that he was buying himself a ticket to a better life, but he really bought himself a ticket to a hamster wheel. That's exactly what happened, right? Andrew asks for the franchise slide. This one, Andrew, this one you're looking for, $60,000 a year is what an average franchisee makes. Isn't that crazy? All right. Look, I've set a strict limit to the number of people that I can get into this, okay? And it's very simple. Imagine there's a street, a block, and every restaurant on that block is a McDonald's. Will you be able to make money this way if everybody is a McDonald's? No. If every restaurant is a McDonald's, I'm sure there's going to be a couple of McDonald's that make money, but most won't, right? Because it's all selling the same stuff. So for that reason, imagining that the internet is a giant block, right? I can't let too many people into it. So I've set a strict limit to how many people can get in for the purposes of everybody being able to get a slice of the pie. So it will be done. The spots will be given on a first come first serve basis. Okay. So I'm about to go into the second round of Q&A. So if you have more questions you want me to answer, please post them in the chat right now. Okay. And in the meantime, I want to share with you. A story for students. First one is one of the first few people that I've coached. His name is Jason Fulton. He's from Australia, and I took him to full time in 90 days, from a standing start to making $8,000 US per month online in about 90 days. Now, this lady, Chrissy from California, I took her to 6 figures in 6 months. Okay, so these were like very cool students that did everything I told them to do. Then I've had this guy, Nicholas, who's a screenwriter from the UK. And he had a very minor success, about a 4-figure success, maybe $1,000 or so that he made. And then he quit. And then I had JP, who didn't make any money initially, and then got super frustrated with the technical side of the business. It became very overwhelming for her, and she quit. Okay? Now, here's the deal. While I can coach, pretty much anyone's willing to be coachable into making money online, most people, they're like JP and like Nick. You can give him all the coaching, you can give him all the support, you can give him all your best strategies, you can give him a manual, you can give him a video course, you can sit down on the call with them and tell them what to do, but it's not going to help. There's something that they will find an excuse that gets in the way. There's something that will always get in the way for these people, and they won't succeed. Something just simply outside of my control. And so
I find that most people are like that. That's why every time you see somebody coming out and they have something like a money making opportunity, maybe you've been to another webinar, there's always going to be a handful of case studies and thousands of people who try something. Like anytime a course is sold, that's going to be the reality, because most people simply will be like JP and like Nick. Something will stop them. They will find an excuse. They won't do the work. They will do the work but do it wrong. I mean, there's going to be something. And so that is why I've created this opportunity. It's just, it's hard to build a business. And so to answer the question, I don't remember who asked, I think it was Andrew who asked me this question. Why did I do it? Well, because most people can't be helped. Most people need to be given stuff that works. That's really the reality of it, okay? And so what I'm saying here is this, is I've built and I grew this tree, this apple tree, right? And what I'm saying is, take it. Take my apple tree. Take my apple tree for yourself and feed from it, okay? And I don't want you to reinvent the wheel. It makes no sense, because me building my stuff took me a while. Took me a long time to do this. And, I started out when I was young. I started in this business when I was like in my 20s. So even slightly before my 20s. So it gave me plenty of time, right? Plenty of time. But question is, you watching this right now, do you have plenty of time? Because average life expectancy is 912 months. That's over 80 years old, like 86, I think, or something like that. It's a lot. But this is how much you've got left if you've already turned 40. If you look at it like in perspective, that's not a lot. And this is how much time you've got left in reality if you turn 40 and you take out the time when you're going to be commuting, going to the bathroom, sleeping, or eating. Right? So actual life, that's what's left. And so considering that you can always earn more money, but you can't really make more time, I think it's something to think of. I think it's something to be mindful of, especially if you're older. Especially if you're older. My online business, same one that I'm offering to copy for you today. It gives me the life that I want. I can buy the stuff that I want. My kids are well taken care of. My marriage is good, solid, because I know a lot of marriages who fight over money all the time, and that's just not a part of the conversation in our household. In fact, the conversation around money in our household is always good. It's always positive. For example, my daughter Erica, she recently participated in the filming of a scene of a movie, like a futuristic comedy. And while on set, I was speaking to another mother, and she was kind of complaining to me that her son spends a lot of time and money on video games. And I said, "What's a lot of money?" And she said, "Well, he spends about $100 a month on video games, specifically on buying stuff in a game called Roblox, which my daughter also plays." And I said, "Oh wow, my daughter also plays Roblox, and she spends more than that." And she said, "What do you mean? How much?" I said, "Well, about 300 per month." And that woman, she looked at me like I was some kind of crazy. How do you let a kid spend so much money on a video game? Well, she did not consider two things. First, I've already taught my daughter how to earn money. So my daughter is actually earning her own money. The allowance she's getting is for the things that she does. She doesn't just get money for free. She's not a spoiled brat. We have solid values around money in our household. That's like a big deal to me. But the other thing is, she doesn't understand that I make $300 when I go to the toilet. So to me, this conditioning doesn't work anymore. I grew up in a household where $300 it was everything that we had to live on for the next month. But my kids, they don't have the same limitation. They don't have the same mindset. To them, $300 is not a big amount of money. It's not a big deal. It's gaming money. You know, it's money you spend on a game. And that's a good thing, because by making money with this online business, I was able to change the conversation that happens for the next generation of my family. The conversation about money is no longer one about scarcity, it's one about abundance. So having this business allows me time, right? Like I said, I love playing video games. I shared it many times. This is my VR headset, and I'm playing Beat Saber. I have time for my fitness, right? So to stay nice and fit, I have time. I actually don't even need time. Like, I make money even when I'm not working. Like that time when I broke my arm playing soccer, I couldn't really do much on the laptop, like with one arm, right? I could only do things from my phone. And yet, as you can see, I got a check for $352,000. Not bad, right? Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, when you think about, a lot of you are worried about the investment, right? What's the investment? What's the investment to partner up with you? Well, think about it this way. Whatever that investment is, here's what one promotion can be worth to you. This is a promotion I mailed out to only 1,200 people on my list, 1,256 to be exact. It resulted in making 61,000 in one day. And that was New Year's Day, or I guess December 31st. The next day, it made me 40,000 more, and the next day, 20,000 more, in total, eclipsing over $100,000 with that promotion. Selling a $97 product. One promotion, guys. One promotion. Got it? One promotion. I run multiple promotions per month to my list. Not every one of them produces 61 grand in a day. Some produce 60 grand in a week, some produce 20 grand in a week, some produce 10 grand in a week. But even at 10 grand per week, we're still talking 40 grand per month, right? So the question is, how many promotions would you like to run? Because every time I run a promotion, I make money. This one I made, I believe it's 30 something grand in 4 days. This one 65,000 in a week. This is a check that I showed you earlier, 352,000. So really, I mean, it comes down to how many promotions you'd like to run. Now, let's see more questions. All right, so let me see. I covered some. What I have to do, yep, I did this. Will this work for newbies? We've covered that. Okay. So Jeremiah asks, do you write the ad copy for the advertising? Yeah, so you can either write it yourself, or you can ask us to help you with that. Basically, I already have ads, so I can just show you my ads and you can copy them, okay? That's very easy. You'll have to be the one to install them yourself though, but I mean, you're just copying off of something that we will show you. Sam is asking, are the follow-up emails already set up? I just have to load them into Aweber. So Sam, you won't be able to use Aweber with this. Aweber doesn't like Igor. Aweber kind of hates me. So you basically will be able to either use a self-hosted solution, an SMTP, or you will be able to use an autoresponder like Constant Contact and things like that. And yeah, we can just give you the emails, you can load them, no big deal. Right, so answer the question about Mads to Charles. So Angel is asking, can I invest in a few days? No. That's why I've done this one live. Nope. I don't think this opportunity will still be available in a few days. I think in a few days we've already got plenty of applicants, and I wouldn't delay for a few days if I was you. Now, if you're in a position where you know you can't take advantage of this opportunity right now, then what I suggest is for you to submit your application now, have the interview, okay, and then basically get started at a date when you can get started. in which case what will probably happen is you will probably be required to submit another deposit to simply lock in your spot. But like I said, anyone's truly committed, we always find a way to make it work. So there's no such thing as a person who's committed who can't make it work with us. It doesn't happen. Okay? Anyone who's truly committed, we always work it out and find a way to make it work. All right. Edward is asking, how do I get financing? So Edward, we have partnered up with a financing company called FinMarket, and they work with people who do online digital marketing. So back in the day, we weren't able to get financing for clients because all financing companies, they want like a hard asset like furniture, a house, a car, whatever. But now, because of the boom of the coaching industry, coaching is now considered to be like this approved thing, and now there's financing for people who get into these sort of things. And so what we'll do is, if it's a good fit, on the call you'll be able within 5 minutes to know whether or not you qualify for financing by going through an online application. And like I said, if your credit score is over 580, there should be plenty of lenders willing to give you money for either low percentage, like a low interest rate loan, or even same as cash loan, where if you paid off before the term, you don't pay any interest at all. It's kind of like a credit card. Okay, so Amit is asking, would you be able to accept a payment plan option for the person based in London? How many payments can there be? So Amit, like I said, if anyone's really committed, we always find a way to make it work. So once you talk to either me or my team, depending on whether my schedule is already full or not, then we'll be able to decide on the spot what works. What I can tell you from experience is anyone's really committed, we always find a way to make it work. Okay. Bruce is asking, what products will we be selling? So you'll be selling my products, my programs, coaching stuff, recordings of seminars, the things are already proven to sell, and because you're on this call, so you're probably a buyer of these products. Okay, Jeremiah is asking about getting approval for affiliate products that I promote. So yeah, basically I will be able to get your approval for all kinds of different products. That's easy. So how often do we get paid? Who pays us and what method? So you'll get paid weekly, and the payout will be by ClickBank because we process through ClickBank. So ClickBank has an automated system. They do the accounting. They protect you against chargebacks. They handle any sort of back end stuff, and then just send you a check, or they can ACH you the money, right? So same question, Jeremiah, what type of payment processor do we need? It's ClickBank. So as long as you've got a free ClickBank account, you're good to go. Betty, do we have to get social media accounts? No, Betty, you don't have to get social media accounts. In fact, you don't have to make yourself visible if you don't want to. You can, if you want to make yourself visible, to place yourself alongside me, but you don't have to be like active on social media or anything like that. Okay. Okay. Jennifer, is this offer available tomorrow? Jennifer, I would not delay if I was you, because tomorrow my calendar will not be available. Trust me. Okay. Do we choose our niche and products, Betty? No, I choose the niche and the products for you. Leroy, I need to be shown what to do. Laid out so there will be no mistakes. Okay. We got that covered. All right. So Robert asks, he says, I remember in the past I paid for something as a member. Am I required to pay again? Robert, well, yeah. It's a different program from the one you paid for before. I don't recall exactly what you paid for, if it was a while back, but I'm pretty sure it's not this. So will you be required to pay? Of course, just like everybody else. Okay. Igor, how much in ads should we expect to spend in order to make things work, as well as some of the successful case studies? So you basically start slow, $5, $10 a day if you want to do with PPC traffic, or you can go in increments of like 50, 100, maybe $200 if you want to do with solo ads. But yeah, basically we're talking about several $100s a month to start with on traffic and scale slowly from there. You don't have to go like full out, although again, it really comes down to you building a big list. So the more the list, the better. And so, a lot of times people think in terms of monthly spend, and I understand because they get paid on monthly basis, but I always think in terms of list, right? So I don't think of monthly spend, I think of list. I'm building my list and I'm adding people to the list, and it's an ongoing thing. One thing that I always do, I always put more people and more people and more people on my list, because the more people I put on my list, the more money I make. Okay. All right. Betty, does ClickBank work in Canada? Yes. Yes, ClickBank works in Canada. Um, Chris, who is it that we can get financing with? So Chris, I think I already covered that. So we partner up with a company that offers financing to companies like mine. So in the same way that you go to a BMW dealership and you get a car and then BMW provides you with financing, sometimes it's the dealership itself that provides you with financing, right? Because they have a financial facility. But sometimes they partner up with a bank and they do it through a bank. So what we've done, we've partnered up with a third party. It's a special software company that is aggregating all the possible lenders that are willing to finance deals like this. And so what will happen is you will submit an application right on the call. You will be able to submit an application real quick, takes a couple of minutes, and then they will basically run your background again, all through automated software. They'll do a soft pull on your credit, and if your credit is 580 or above, they will propose to you multiple options for financing. You then choose one, and then you proceed, at which point they will do a hard pull on your credit and finalize the deal. Okay, so this is how it works. And of course, guys, in case it's not clear, financing is only available to the people who are in the US. If you are in Canada, if you are in Europe, if you are in Australia, if you are in UK, we don't have a financing option for you aside from maybe PayPal financing. So you can maybe look into that. So Google PayPal financing or PayPal credit. It's called PayPal credit. Right now, PayPal is offering a lot of money to people who are willing to take it. Like whenever I log into my PayPal account, they always offer me a business loan. So PayPal seems to be pretty, easy on that. They seem to be giving money away right now. Okay. Do you set up an autoresponder for us, and what are other autoresponders recommended besides constant contact? So yeah, you can either do constant contact, you can do Infusionsoft, you can do Ontraport, you can do GetResponse. I mean, you can do MailVO, you can do SendLane. There's really a ton of different options. It really doesn't matter. These offers are compliant. You can only not do, I believe, Aweber, because Aweber hates me. And so if they find out you work with me, they won't like that. And you probably can't do MailChimp because MailChimp, I think they don't appreciate affiliate marketers. So if you ever end up promoting anything like an affiliate link, you might get in trouble with MailChimp and they might shut down your account. There's also an option for your own self-hosted autoresponder through an SMTP, which is highly recommended because you then can get banned. You are the only one responsible for your reputation. And so this way, you have a lot more control. All right. RG asks, do your offers, how do your offers convert to cold traffic? Is it 2 to 5%, or is it less, or is it 1%, or is it 0.5%? So for me, depending on the offer, right? Because there's different offers you could be using as your front end and different traffic sources, and that combo changes between different things. Like if I'm running PPC traffic with Microsoft, I can have two keywords generating clicks at the same price, but one will get me leads for, say, $2 a lead, the other one for $4 a lead. But then the one that's getting me leads for $4 a lead will then get me a sale for every 10 leads, versus the one who's getting me leads at $2 per lead will get me sales for every 50 leads. So you can never know. Like there's no way of averaging this out to have accurate data. It's always on a case by case basis. Betty is asking, do we need a domain? Betty, no, you don't need a domain. We got that covered. We'll get you a domain. Okay, that's gonna be on us as a gift. Consider that to be a gift. We will handle all the technical stuff. You don't have to worry about it. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Awesome. All right, so I don't see any more questions. If you have any questions, right now is the time to post them. But I think we've covered a lot of questions. A lot. Yep. Covered that one, covered that one, covered that one. Okay. All right, cool. So I think there's no more questions. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave you here, guys. You got 15 more minutes to make the call, right? If you're late to this webinar, then I'm sorry, but you should have been here on time. You might have got locked in the queue, whatever the case, but this is it. This is the time for you to make that decision. If you would like to partner with me and copy my $10 million online business, then you need to go to igor.top/partner right now and apply. Submit your refundable $100 deposit and then schedule a call. And you better do it right away. Okay. In 15 minutes, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pretty much just end the webinar and with it take away the opportunity. All right. So those of you who acted, well done. Louis said, yeah, Louis. So once you've paid, you should get redirected to a page to book the call. And if you haven't, then check your email. You should get an email in a minute with details on how to schedule the call. If any of you got lost in the process for any reason, then please email us at support@listbuildinglifestyle.com. Lana will post that email in the chat right now. support@listbuildinglifestyle.com. If you got lost and you didn't get the link, or if you got lost in the shuffle, or the link broke, or connection timed out, whatever, you just email us and she will provide you with the link. Right. Awesome. Thank you. Awesome. Thanks, Leroy. Yeah, so Betty says PayPal credit doesn't work in Canada. Ouch. Okay, well then Canadians will have to figure something else out. I mean, if you need financing, might be a good idea to talk to the bank, credit card, maybe like something like Capital One, maybe tap into your line of credit. I don't know, like if you have a home, but we don't have anything for outside of US, unfortunately, because this company told us that Canadian banks are weird, and they've made several attempts to expand into Canada because so many Canadians purchase in the US, but it's just not something that they were able to do, unfortunately. So yeah, so again, this is it, guys. 13 more minutes for you to make up your mind. If you snooze, you lose. Okay, those of you who applied already, those of you who are on my schedule, great. Those of you who are only now coming in, you might be offered to book a call with my team and not me, simply because there's already so many people that I see who applied here. So yeah, now is the time. Either get off the fence, or I guess, or don't. I mean, and then miss this opportunity. So thank you so much for attending the webinar. I'm going to leave this up for a couple more minutes until the timer expires, so you know when your opportunity window closes. And thanks to everybody who's been on fire, in the chat. All right. Awesome. Sean's like, Igor's not playing. Make it happen. Yes. Yes. All right. So I'll leave you to it in silence so you can think about this decision. If you have any more questions, I think a good idea is to redirect them to our support desk. So the email for that is support@listbuildinglifestyle.com. All right. If you have any other questions, like any other concerns or any other technical questions, some people I see message here that they don't have a ClickBank account and can open one. All of that, all these details are irrelevant until it's a good fit, right? Until we talk and it's a good fit. Now, if it is, then you'll bring up that concern. And if there is a workaround, we'll find it. If there isn't, then I guess it is what it is. So thank you so much, guys. You can tell I'm getting a bit tired. So I'm like a balloon that lost some of its air. It's been an incredible live session. I'm so happy we've done it. I look forward to chatting to all of you who scheduled a call with me, and I can't wait to partner up with you if it's a good fit. All right. So again, for any other questions, you should email support@listbuildinglifestyle.com. And if you didn't get your link or anything like that, but other than that, we should be good to go. And talk to you guys soon. Okie dokie, time's up. So time to make a decision. You go to igor.top/partner and go ahead and submit your refundable deposit and pencil yourself in for an interview. Or this is it, you missed the opportunity. All right, so again, even if you were late on the call, it's still, you should have been here on time. There's no excuse. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Take it or leave it. All right, Igor out.